We're going to be live streaming this onto our Facebook page. I think when I looked earlier on, the first two videos we did, Glyn and Dominic, last time I looked, or when I looked earlier on today, we'd reached over 20,000 people on Facebook on those two videos. I haven't checked with Andres. So what we're trying to do with StaffCanteen Live is continually grow it, push it. It's great to see all of you wonderful people here today. But obviously we've got a massive audience out there on Facebook and YouTube, so we're reaching those guys as well. So when we bring these guys on stage, give us all a big wave, say hello to your mum. Obviously if you're skiving off from work, don't do that because your boss might see you. But we're using YouTube and Facebook to stream it. If you're on Instagram, if you want to follow us or you want to @ the StaffCanteen in, use our hashtag TSC Live, please do. If you're on Twitter, we're at Canteen Tweets. You can follow us on Twitter. Again, use the hashtag TSC Live. If you're on Facebook, use the hashtag TSC Live. And if you're on that thing called Snapchat, apparently we're on there as well. Okay? We are the StaffCanteen on Snapchat. Does the hashtags work on Snapchat? Anyone know? No? They do. Okay, so you can hashtag us on that thing called Snapchat. And somebody will follow you. Okay, so we are about... The reason we're doing this so precise is because we are live streaming it. So we've put up a schedule on Facebook and said that at 2 o'clock it will be Mark Abbott, and we've said that on YouTube, and all of our correspondence. It's been about making sure that we hit those times. So that's why we're being so precise. So the chefs are ready, but thank you very much for your patience. Okay, while we're waiting, straw poll. How many of you use social media? Hands up. Okay, either some of you didn't hear me or some... so how many of you are using social media? Hands up. That's better. Okay, right. How many of you use Facebook? Not only Facebook, but how many of you have a Facebook account? Okay. How many of you have an Instagram account? You can have both, by the way. It's not... How many of you have a Twitter account? Okay, so this is the question you get one to answer from. You go to your phone and you press a social media app. What's the first one you choose? Instagram, put your hands up. Okay. Twitter, put your hands up. Okay, so that must mean Facebook's going to win this hands down. Facebook, put your hands up. Yep, I say it all the time. Okay, so we are about a minute away. All right, gents? Okay, there's going to be a man in my ear telling me we're nearly there. So 15 seconds, so you can all count in with me. Yeah. 8, 7, 6, 5. They are now through. 3, 2, 1. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to StaffCanteen Live. It's the last chef of the day. Please put your hands together. Mr. Mark Abbott. Okay, first of all, just before we do something else, give us all a massive wave. Say hello if you're on Facebook, YouTube. Say hello. Okay, just before Mark gets cracking on this dish, can you all put your hands together, please, for the team from UCB College? Come on stage, guys. Come on stage. Come on in. Come on stage. Come on.
Morning.
Also, a big thank you to this gentleman on the edge, Ian. Ian is our home economist. Sorry. I haven't had any champagne yet. This man has an incredibly difficult job. He has chefs going to him, I need a Chinese lantern, I need a this, I need a that. He has to go away and find it, source it, make sure they've got all their ingredients. So there's a massive team behind putting StaffCanteen Live on. Thank you very much for coming. Most importantly, put your hands together for the amazing team from UCB College. Thank you very much to Chef Works for making them look amazing in their uniforms. UCB College. Okay, Megan's going to stay on stage with Mark. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, Mark Abbott, Chef, what are you cooking?
How you doing, guys? First of all, thank you very much for, well, allowing me to come here, and thank you to Mark.
No, it's a pleasure.
So today we're cooking, well, ordinary to extraordinary. So that was the Great British Menu banquet dish I got through. So we've got to be honest, most of it's prepared, because when you have a 14-element dish, to cram that into half an hour, it could get a bit complicated. So we're just going to do a few bits and pieces to start us off, okay? So on the go here at the moment, I've just got my palm puree on the bounce. So we use May and Gold potatoes for that. They're really yellow, really flowery, great flavour, and also I'm using buttermilk, so therefore they absorb it. So you can get, to be honest, you can get more flavour in there, and that's really what cooking's about. What we're going to do, we're literally just going to start off. I've got a few potato skins here. I'm just going to quickly fry them, because we need to get the fryer up for the next element. And then, instead of Megan can certainly get them chopped for me. So we literally want them to go in, and we're just letting them sit nice and golden brown. Okay.
So they're like potato skin chips?
That's exactly it, yeah. So it's just, once again, I was literally utilised every single part of the potato, the skins. I've even got the sack as my presentation plate, and the actual outside of the potato itself as well for another presentation.
So, Great British Menu, how did that come about, Mark?
It was sitting in a meeting with my boss, Daniel Clifford, having a bit of a joke and a laugh. Said to me, would you do it? I said, yeah, why not? It'll be a bit of a laugh. 10 minutes later, I was on the phone with the production. That was that was a Saturday. By the Monday, I was on camera. So it's one of them where it all happened very, very quickly.
And was it as you expected?
Everyone told me it was going to be probably one of the hardest things I did. And I thought, yeah, okay, yeah, that's great. But it really was. It was an amazing experience, but it was completely, yeah, it was amazing, but it was hard. It really was difficult. But it was good fun. It was a lot of fun. And the thing is as well, is especially when you get to finals week, when's, like, you know, as a chef, you're really busy, but when's the actual opportunity you're in a kitchen for a week with 7 other like-minded guys? You learn so much. It's a phenomenal experience, really was. Okay, so while these are frying, what we're going to do is I'm just going to start off and start my pomme soufflés. Now, I'm not making that the whole way through, because that would be completely suicide. So literally, we're just going to put a few skins of potato over. Megan's going to dry these for me, aren't you? So, like that. And then fold that on. So all we want to do is take the starch out of the potatoes. And then what we're going to do is sandwich that with a corn flour solution. We stamp them out with a cutter. And then after that, what I would do at the restaurant is put them under the heat lights. The outside get all crispy, and what happens is that forms a seal. So when you fry them, they puff up. Well, supposedly, anyway.
That's the theory.
Yeah, that's the theory.
So how do you practice this? I mean, you know, you work in a really, really busy restaurant, and the demands there are, you know, really high. So how do you get time to practice this? Do you do it holidays, or how do you do it?
Well, I spent every Sunday and Monday for about 3 months, coming in my days off, and then when it came down to the last week, because I thought I was organised and it all went peak Tom, I was probably there the most mornings at 4. Wow. But it was good fun. It was an experience, to say the least. Okay, where's this now? Okay, brilliant. So these are all dried out. So what we're all going to do, if you want to just brush them like that. So all we got there is a corn flour and egg white solution. Sandwich it. And then after that, stamp it out. Okay?
So you slice the potato, then you what? Cornstarch, did you say, between them?
Yeah,
sorry, is that
corn
in the way?
flour
Sorry.
and egg white. It just helps them lock together.
I'm watching you on Facebook.
Is that actually what's going on?
Yeah,
oh dear,
live,
that's a bit worrying, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, so motoring on, we're just going to do the little bacon cone. So this is literally Cumbrian slack Alsace bacon.
Cumbrian what, sorry?
Cumbrian slack, piece of bacon.
Okay.
Fairly finely sliced in the meat slicer. So all we do is literally take a square, force it around the outside so it's like a little cap. And then square up the other piece. And then wrap that around. So really what we're making is a bacon basket. Then all we would do is bake that at 180 for about 4 minutes, and then he comes out and you get a beautiful crisp bacon shell, just as you can see there.
When you were on Great British Menu, is it 3 courses or 4 you do? I can never remember. 3?
It was 4.
4.
Yeah.
How long do you have to do 4 courses?
It's about an hour and a half.
And how much can you take prepped?
Nothing.
Wow.
Yeah. Perfect. So these are stamped out. They're beautiful, nice and round. And then what we'll do is, you know, if it was in the restaurant, put them under the heat lights, go nice and crispy around the outside, and then fry them at 180, puff up, and you get a beautiful potato shell. Okay, if you can just put them in the bin for now. We don't need that anymore. Okay, yeah.
Is there anything that went horribly wrong that you can share with us?
Potato soufflés.
Okay.
They didn't work.
They didn't work.
Because of the pressure, if any chef said to me now, there's a bowl of corn flour, there's a potato bowl of T45 flour, I could tell the difference. But under that pressure, I just grabbed the flour, put it together, and it didn't work.
Right.
So I had to do that again, which was... they didn't really go into great detail, thankfully, on the show, but it was quite... it was something to watch. So literally, we're drying the potato skins off to get rid of any excess fat, if you don't want it all greasy. Put a little bit of seasoning on them. Okay, if you want to get yourself a
Don't
knife.
forget, if anyone's got a question for Mark, stick your hand in the air, come out with a microphone, you can ask Mark a question. Okay, so don't be shy. As I said, you ask a question, you're likely to get a sample.
Yeah, if you've
got any of those spare chips, they can go out into the audience. If Mark tells us how many he needs.
What's that?
Do you need all of those?
I'll need some of them. You can certainly use some of them if you want. That's completely fine. Okay, so we're just going to quickly knock through a few herbs for the salads. So when I'm on the potato basket, in the filling of the potato basket, so literally just hash it up. Okay, so really nice and fine, okay? So in the potato basket, we've got purple potatoes. So these are purple violets.
Did you see Michelin's tweet about that?
What's that?
About there is never an excuse to use a purple potato.
Nope. Is that true?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
No, didn't see that one.
Yeah. Mark, I've got a question for you here.
Okay,
if
cool.
you could just introduce yourself and then ask Mark the question.
Hi, I'm Harvey. Where did you get the inspiration for this dish?
It started off as a lamb stew. Because what really with my menu is, what we thought was, because I had worked in every country of the UK, and we were going to do like a journey. Starting off Northern Ireland, then Scotland, then England. It didn't really work out, to be honest, that way. But ordinary to extraordinary, it really started off with this guy I met who was really a humble guy but gave so much to the community, so that's where it came from. His favourite food was Irish stew, but I played around with it at 2 weeks and couldn't get it right, so it was a case of scrapping it, think of the most ordinary ingredient, and then we elevated it from there. So it just kind of worked out.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so in the violets...
Anyone else while I'm down? Nope.
Just mixing them a lot finer, about 3. Right. Just keep going through them.
What are we doing now, Chef?
So we're just mixing up the potato salad. So we've got some little violets. All we have literally done is cook them in some olive oil and lemon juice and seasoning. So really, it's a potato salad, as simple as that. Just cooking them till they're tender, and then mixing them with some spring onions. And then that's going to go into the little basket towards the end.
Mark, obviously you and Daniel both got to the final.
Yeah.
Have either of your dishes ever actually appeared on the menu at Midsummer, or have they been exclusively just what you've done for TV?
No, the chicken, what we call the chicken GBM menu was on, or the whole menu was on for about 2 months, and then the chicken dish itself stayed on for a lot longer.
Okay.
But because Midsummer, that was when we used to do 5-course and an 8-course tasting.
Yep.
If I was to, like, the potato dish hasn't gone on the menu. The main reason is it doesn't fit the menu. It's an a la carte starter.
Yep. It's
potatoes. It's carbs. So, if, for example, if we were to put that on as a starter course, to be honest, into course 3 or 4, you're almost full. And you know, these days you want the customer to be satisfied, but you don't want them to feel like they've literally eaten their body weight in food. So it needs to be enjoyable for them. So that's why we made a big decision not to put it on the menu.
Okay. Yes. Sorry. More questions.
That is beautiful. Right, have you got a little bowl?
Okay, so again, if you can just introduce yourself and then ask Mark the question.
Hi, my name's Kane, and I'm an apprentice chef, and I would like to ask what age you started as a chef?
When I was, I always wanted to be a farmer. And then one particular summer, I got sick of it. On the farm, it was a complete nightmare. Everything went wrong, and I thought, you know what, this isn't for me. This is ridiculous. Work experience was coming up. Turned around to my dad. I had no idea what I want to do. He said, my best friend, or a really good friend, lives down the road, manager of a hotel. Said, right, okay, I'll get in there in the summer. I was 15. Got in there, and they offered me a summer job literally in the summer. I think it was peeling 10 cases of honeydew melon and making 30 loaves of sandwiches a day. But that was the start, really. And then it just grew from there.
Right, okay, thank you.
That's a great question. Anyone else when I'm down here? Anyone else? No? Okay, we'll have a
So have you done panning before?
session at the end anyway.
Okay, so these here need to just go in there. So what I'm doing now is my little champ croquette. So literally it's pickled potato. We made a dry mashed potato. We mix them all together with spring onions. And then all we're going to do now is literally panny them in potato airbag. Sorry, not potato airbag. This is the, airbag. So it's pork skin, this particular one. Just like that. So get them all nicely coated. Roll them around. You don't really want too much egg on these, okay? Make sure it's all coated. Put them in there. Give them a little ruffle around. So that you don't want loads on here. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, perfect. And then just put them on that little lid for me. Just do them 3 is completely fine.
Mark, gentleman over the back there asked a question earlier. I read on his badge he's a student. Lots of students here today. If they want to come and work for you and Daniel at Midsummer, what have they got to do?
You know, I don't have a thing. To be honest, we get CVs coming through all the time, and I'll literally say, bring them in for a trial. The reason is if somebody wants to come and see what we do, if they've got a good attitude, if they're willing to give up their 2 days off or any time to come and do a trial, I'm willing to at least have a conversation with them and show them the kitchen. Because at the end of the day, you know, we're nothing without the next generation coming through. And
so is that a case of emailing you or the restaurant?
Yeah, just the best way to do it is literally if you send an email into reservations at midsummerhouse.co.uk, someone will definitely get back to you straight away.
Cool.
Fabulous. Right, that's great. Good stuff. Okay, so we've got our little panny done. Okay, if you just scrape them into there then. Oh, thanks for that. Right, so I've just been told we're halfway. We've still got quite a lot to do.
Shall I shut up?
Huh?
Shall I shut up?
I wish I could shut up, yeah. So we've got our potatoes on. We're just cooking them to their tender. Literally, I've got some mashed potato already made. So what we've done is literally just mix the potato, the buttermilk, and some butter. Just going to let that down with a touch more. Okay, that's brilliant. We're just waiting on the fryer to come up, and we're going to fry off
that's okay.
some salsa airbag.
I just wonder if we've got anything that our friends at UCB could get out into the audience.
What, taste?
Yeah.
You can taste them, yeah.
Yeah? Can we do that?
Do you want, what we could do, I could give you some of the jellies.
Yep.
So we've got a little tray.
Guys, do you want to get some taster cups ready so we can get out? Yeah?
So on top of the souffle, I've got a little bacon jelly.
We got some little taster cups, chef, so they can go into those.
Okay, cool. Do you want to get them into the little cups for me then? There you go. And then when you put a little bit in, sprinkle some bacon crumb on top. All right. So yeah, so we've made a bacon jelly. We literally make a bacon stock, infuse that into chicken stock, and then we set that with veggie gel. And then that just gives us a nice jelly, which goes on top of the soufflés and then gets sprinkled with the bacon crumb as well. So I'm just going to sort of pull up my little setup tray here. So what we can see here, we've got the bacon baskets. I'm literally just going to start filling these with our purple potato salad. Also on the tray, and we've got little what I call Sabia onion petals. And the shells themselves are little silver-skinned onions. They're cooked down in white wine, sugar, and white wine vinegar. So they've got a nice bit of texture. They're not cooked like a puree. So they give you a texture to the dish. And we cook them really slowly so they don't wrinkle up. So as you can see probably on the screen there, you've got a beautiful petal shape. It looks really natural, and that's what we're looking for. Literally fill in their little baskets. You get a nice bit of spring onion on there. Okay, and then what we do is literally finish the very top of them with some truffle. Okay, also on the tray, you'll see I've got the pomme soufflés. So that's what we talked about already. We've got a nice, the jelly is already ready. So what I'm going to do is literally just put a nice dunk of puree in the bottom just to help them sit so they don't move on me. Going to quickly put a little bit of puree into the shells. So it's 3 a portion. This is the pickled white onion puree. It's white onions cooked down in vinegar, wine, and sugar also. So just, my fryer's now up to temperature, so we're just going to quickly fry off, where'd it go? That one. Some potato airbag. So that can be cooked at 180, and it just literally just puffs up.
Potato airbag, what on earth is that?
It's a Sosa product.
Okay.
So literally, it's literally potato puffs. It's almost like a What's-It.
Wow.
So yeah, they're brilliant. We use them at the restaurant all the time. It's great texture to a dish. You know, they're great for absorbing flavours. So what we do is we dress them a little bit of truffle oil, burnt onion powder, and some fresh truffle. And the burnt onion powder was to represent soil, because obviously there's not a potato comes without a bit of soil on it. So just back onto these. So jelly on top. Do you want to pass me the bacon crumb, darling?
So hopefully we've got a few samples coming around in the audience. You can have a taste of some of the elements that's going into to Mark's dish.
So just seasoning the top really with bacon. You know, bacon, potatoes, spring onions. It's an Irish classic. So that's really where that whole element came from. Yeah, there we go. So we're just going to straighten these off. So we're just seasoning these up. So we've got some burnt onion powder. So once again, this is sort of to make them look a bit sort of almost dirty, like soil-like. It's a bit of texture, a bit of flavour. You got the sweetness of the potato and the bitterness of the onion. Then we're going to just give that a quick bit of truffle. Bit of flavour in there. And that's ready. Also on the tray, we've got some nasturtiums. That's literally for a bit of garnish. Okay, brilliant. Are we all right for time?
Yeah, you're fine.
Good?
Yeah, you got 10 minutes still, yeah?
Brilliant. Okay, so just quickly, little presentation. We're literally putting these in, and all we're doing is filling them up, and that's like almost a little cradle for pomme soufflés.
That'd be right. The main ones is if you try and get them out of like.
So just quickly going through the rest of the components. In this pan, we've got jacket potato consommé. So what we've done is we've made a consommé base. I've infused that with jacket potatoes, as in the skins, and then that just gives you a nice round flavour of actual potato itself. So I'm kind of now getting ready to put everything together. In this pan, one of my favourite potatoes of all time is pomme dauphinoise. So that's where this came from. So literally, it's round potato. It's been cooked down in cream, infused with garlic and thyme, and then that just gets wrapped in the little the skin that's been already prepared.
There are a lot of elements to this dish, aren't there?
14.
4 dishes, 1.5 hours. One of them had 14 elements.
No, 1.5 hours per dish.
Ah, okay. Phew.
Even that was a push.
Yeah, I can imagine.
It was good fun. It was good fun. It really was. I loved it. It was so much fun. Okay, so you said this is wrapped in a pork airbag. So you can see the reason I'm doing a pan of oil for it needs to exceed 210. All right, it is smoking. Mark's already told me 2 or 3 times, don't leave it. I don't want to burn the place down. But there's some things you just kind of have to just go with.
There is a man in a yellow high-vis jacket pulling his hair out somewhere.
Is there really? Well, he'll be all right. Okay. Right, we're going to take it off now. So
And we can all relax.
You happy now?
Yeah.
Right, so just getting all the elements warm, really.
Chef, don't forget when you plate up, I need the plate there, yeah?
Will do. That's all right. So just giving them a bit of a season. Got our little croquettes. Here's the reason you're there. And then we need our onion powder, or the puree. So on these here, once again, just literally 2 little dots of puree. Once again, is a little seasoning. Okay. You all right for time? Brilliant.
Yeah, you're cool, Chef. Don't worry.
Okay.
Do
So
you
we're
want
just
that way?
no, it's all right. So you want to start sort of dressing up now. With this dish, because there's so many elements, it's not really one you can rush. If you rush it, you know, it's like so many things. If you're going to start rushing it, all that work, all that effort you've put into actually getting it there, you're going to waste. So that's where the sort of, like the tray, a bit of organisation comes from. So just making sure these are nicely glazed, nice and hot. Okay, brilliant. Concentrate on. Okay.
You can keep that one there, Chef. You can move that one. Don't worry about it. As long as that one stays there, you can.
Do you want that there?
Yeah.
Do you need me to dress up too? Or one?
You can get Megan to dress the other one.
Oh, okay, no problem at all. Right, Megan, you need a spoon in your hand.
No pressure, Megan.
Okay, so you watch what I do, and then you can duplicate it. Okay. So literally, so this is the butter and milk mashed potato. Couple of nice spoons in there, Megan. Make sure you taste it first of all. Yeah, it's really important, especially for a young chef. You're tasting all the time. So we're literally spreading that out nice and neatly. Right to the edge of the rim, Megan, okay? Okay, and then we're literally seasoning with our crisps. How you getting on? Lovely. And then a little sprinkle in there.
All right, Megan? Are you doing it better?
Yeah, it wouldn't be hard. Okay, then next up we have our little croquette. You getting on all right? Okay, do you want to just come and grab this one? So that one just goes in there, okay? And then at 4 o'clock, we're just squeezing in our little basket, just like that one. Brilliant. Okay, so our little dauphinoise balls. This is where, so this is really to do with texture. We're literally putting them on there. All we're doing is rolling them around, and we're just getting a nice color, just getting a nice coating with the balls. Okay.
With your hand, when we finished, I'll come and do. Okay.
Okay, and then our little shells, we just literally 3 of them. Okay, Megan. So 3 of them like this. Just try not and let them touch any elements, okay?
You
so
never know, Megan. GBM might be watching this live stream.
Oh.
There might be a role for you.
If there's a role for me, there's certainly one for her.
Are you doing it again? Can you say no?
No, I'm not. Not this year. Not this year. It's the time it takes to do it is incredible, and it was an amazing experience. Yeah,
I won't tell anyone, but Cara might.
What's that? Yeah, she's probably already told the world. Okay, there's another one, Megan. Thank you, Mark.
That's all right.
And so that's our base ready. So we can just lift the ring. And then little nasturtiums. Okay, so you can just lift your ring. Not a good one.
So you're not a tweezers man then?
Yes and no. Yes and no.
Is Glyn still here or not? Has he gone?
Is Glyn not a tweezer man?
No, he was using his tweezers this morning.
If I'm being honest, I've actually left him at Midsummer.
He was having a dig at the boys from the Hand and Flowers about not using them.
Yeah, there's a lot of things. At the end of the day, if it works for you, use them. That's the way I look at it. You know, everyone's different. If it works for you. So now we're literally our potato soufflés.
I think he might have been getting a bit of stick from some people about using them, so
You're just nestling them in there.
I think he went on the offensive.
Did he really? Okay.
I'm going to be a real pain and need you to pull that back onto there.
Onto
us.
here?
Yeah,
No
please,
problem
chef.
at all. This is where I hope it doesn't fall. You can imagine what 60 of these like was going out.
Well, that was... Oh, chef.
See what I mean?
Yeah.
Where's that
yeah,
other one?
Yeah. All right?
Yeah, all good.
Saved it.
Oh yeah, it's fine. And we just some chives on top. How are you getting on? That looks lovely. Do you want to put some little chives on top of that? Would be lovely. And then we got our potato consomme, which just warmed through on the side.
Sorry, I'm doing that incredibly carefully.
Just fill that up. And that's it, really.
Wow. What a dish. Ladies and gentlemen, Mark Abbott, ordinary to extraordinary.
Thank you very much.
Also,
Thank you very much.
Megan
Yeah. Look at that. That's
from
all right,
UCB.
isn't it? Do you
Look
want
at
a job?
that. Okay, I know that gentleman there's got a question. Stay there, chef. We're going to have
Alright.
some questions now. What an amazing dish. How stunning is that? Okay. Yes, sir. If you can introduce yourself, madam. Sorry, if you can introduce yourself. I can't see a thing from up there. The lights.
I know the lights are mad, isn't it?
If you can introduce yourself and then ask Mark the question.
I'm Caitlin. What's your food heaven and what's your food hell?
Food heaven and food hell.
Yeah.
Food heaven. Give me a roast shoulder of lamb with a load of bread and some couscous. Food hell, salmon.
Alright.
If you give me salmon, I will actually retch. It's just something to do with the oils in it.
Thank you.
That's a brilliant question. Anyone else?
Thank you very much.
Any other questions? Yes. Okay, so if you can just introduce yourself and then ask Mark the question.
Hi, I'm Kirsty.
Hiya.
Are there strict guidelines on what dishes are Michelin star and which ones?
I think there's really only one people you can ask, and that's Michelin, and they're not going to tell you. No. No. Well, I'm sorry, but there's some in this plate. I don't know. I think it's such a wide field now. What is Michelin? What isn't Michelin? But there's one thing that's right. The quality needs to be there, and consistency. Consistency without it. There's no point you going to it doesn't matter even it's not a Michelin restaurant. If you go if you go to your favorite fish and chip shop and you go in and you get perfect chips and perfect fish and you go in the next week and you don't get that, you're not going to go back. No. You know what I mean? So for me, consistency is the most important thing. It really is.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions while I'm down here? Anyone else got a question for Mark? Any hands? We're walking around with mugs. If you want a mug, you have to ask a question. Right, Nathan, he's got a bloody kitchen full of mugs. I mean in the China variety, by the way, not as in his team. Sorry. Come on in, Leo.
What's it like working with Daniel Clifford?
We are still live streaming, by the way.
I've been there 6.5 years now, and every job prior to
Hello,
that,
Daniel.
I've done like 1.5 to 2 years. It's not because of it's not because you everyone says you want to stay in a restaurant a couple of years to learn and learn and learn. You do, but for me at Midsummer, anybody that's ever been, it changes so often. It's so exciting. From I've been there, we've had 2 kitchens put in, we've refurbed the restaurant, constantly revolving, constantly changing. We're doing a refurb this year. It never stands still. The man doesn't stop thinking, and that's what, it's infectious. It gets you going. It's, you know, one day you'll walk in and you think, okay, yeah, great, I can get on ready with mise en place, and the next minute he walks through the door with a spade and say, right, we're digging the garden. That's the kind of guy he is. The next minute he'll have a paintbrush in his hand. So, you know, it just doesn't stop.
Go on, thank you. Yeah.
Any other questions? Oh, sorry, my apologies. Okay, so if you can just introduce yourself and then ask Mark a question.
My name's Callum. What's your favourite part about being a chef, and what would you give like people that want to be a chef advice?
That's a very good question. First of all, I'm obsessed with food. I love food. You know, working with, you know, in Michelin you get the opportunity to work with some of the best ingredients in the country. You know, when you have them scallops walking through the door and they're still beaten, you've amazing lamb coming through. It gets you going. It's exciting, but also, especially from a management point of view, when you've the youth of the kitchen coming through and you see them when they first start off, maybe first couple of months you see them struggling, and then you build them and build them. A year and a half, you look around and you go, you know, you've been a little piece to that person to actually get their career and to turn them into something very special. And to be honest, that's what keeps you going. When when you have a team of 12 people and you know that you're pushing them and you're getting them to the next level, and they're going to leave, you know, your junior sous chefs, your sous chefs, and they're going to go into other kitchens, and they're representing the restaurant, they're representing myself, Daniel. That's what's exciting.
All right, thank you.
That's an excellent question. Anyone else? One more question. No. Okay, Lou, just get all those guys back on stage. College guys. Yeah, come on up. Well, just whoever's there. Come on. Okay, so thank you all very much. It's been a long day. For coming to support us at StaffCanteen Live. First of all, before we thank Mark for one last time, the team from UCB College. Big round of applause, please. Let's say once again, thank you to Chefworks for making these guys look amazingly smart. Thank you very much for that. Ladies and gentlemen, a massive, massive round of applause for an amazing dish. Mark Abbott.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Okay, also one last thing. Thank you to the team at Solent Creative, okay, for doing the streaming today. I just had a quick look on Facebook. We've reached over 30,000 people on Facebook alone with the live streams. So thank you very much to the team here. Thank you all very, very much for coming. Before you go and visit our sponsors' stands, okay? Westlands, Induced Energy, Chefworks, Calabar, Wild Atlantic Prawns. Okay, go and visit their stands, go and have a chat with them. We can't put these things on without the sponsors. So thank you all very much. We'll be back here tomorrow at 11 o'clock. Bye-bye.